Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, we finally got an official pre-patch date, and as suspected, it is coming out this upcoming reset, October 25th, right after the season end. What's different this time is that they're actually breaking up the pre-patch release into this rollout roadmap of 2 phases, basically. So phase 1 of pre-patch starts this reset, and that's going to have the new talent system, it's going to have the new user interface, it's going to have new race class combos with rogues, mages, and priests being available to every single race in the game, and it is going to open up rated solo shuffle for play. We're going to sit with that for 3 weeks to figure out your talents and to make your, Tauren rogue and to do your rated solo shuffle and to arrange your new user interface exactly how you like it. 3 weeks later, on November the 15th, Phase 2 is going to begin, and that is when you can begin making your Drakthir Evokers. You'll be able to do the new Evoker starting area, you're going to be able to do the Primal Storms pre-patch event, so that's when the catch-up gear starts becoming available and you can work on that new toy, and you can do a new version of the Ultimate Dungeon. This is also when the Winds buff ends, so when Drakthir come out on November the 15th, that's when the experience buff will stop. 2 weeks after that is November the 28th, and that is when Dragonflight launches, and that's when you're going to start leveling from 60 to 70, that's when we're going to go to all of the new zones. We're going to start dragon riding and basically do the new expansion, with the raid itself releasing on December the 13th. This is what the roadmap graphic looks like. You can basically expect Phase 1 to be basically new talents and UI, more or less, whereas Phase 2 has Evokers, if you wanted to really simplify it. They also casually stuck this Twitch drop label banner on their roadmap graphic, which indicates that they may be offering something as Twitch drops during that time period. I don't have any details at all about that, but I will say that if and when, I suppose when that does happen, if you want to be eligible to receive Twitch drops, you will want to connect your Twitch account to your Battle.net account with this new process. It's very easy. I'll link the help page down below. You basically go to your Battle.net account page, go to the connections page, go to the Twitch section, and then click on that to log in through your Twitch if you would like to be eligible for Twitch drops for WoW and presumably other Blizzard properties. If you've never seen it before, Twitch drops is kind of an automated way to hand out game goodies during a promotional period to people that are currently watching a Twitch stream in a given category. So we'll have more information when we learn more about that. But in the meantime, if you want to do it, then go ahead and link your account. The big headline here is that 3 weeks after the pre-patch, before we get Evokers, which feels kind of long, 3 weeks before the pre-patch event even starts. It will be nice to have extra time with that experience buff though, and I may, my plan is basically to just level alts with the Winds experience buff and with the new talents. That's something that I wanted, so there will be plenty of time to do that. If you are just excited for Evokers though, and you're planning to come back and take time off work or something like that, then don't do it on the 25th, because all there is going to be for you is new talent changes, the new HUD changes, and then solo shuffle and, Draenei rogues and stuff. I do imagine that on the 25th, Blizzard may put out some form of official survival guide video, and I also might imagine that perhaps you might recognize somebody in it, perhaps? Wink, wink. Also on the topic of pre-patch, they have put up their official pre-patch notes you can read. There are no big surprises here. We did find out this week about a change to res sickness in Dragonflight. Currently, if you decide to talk to the spirit healer to resurrect instead of running back to your body, you are saddling yourself with 10 minutes of res sickness and a 25% hit to your gear durability. In Dragonflight, it's only going to be 1 minute of res sickness, but 50% hit to your gear durability, so it's going to be much more expensive in repairs to use the spirit healer to automatically res, but your res sickness timer is much shorter, so people that just don't mind spending a lot of gold may want to use that option just to save themselves the run back. I am cheap, so I think I will continue running back to my body, especially because I like the run back. It gives me time to think about what I've done. We've gotten a number of different blue posts this week detailing all kinds of useful info related to the patch. This one here lays out all of the things that you can continue working on right up until Dragonflight launches, which is basically most things. You can still keep working on your Vicious mounts, Keystone Master mounts, Dungeon Teleport, Slime Cats, etc. One thing that you cannot do after the 25th until Dragonflight is actually Mage Tower. Last minute they came out with this blue post saying that it is being disabled for maintenance and they hope to bring it back soon. which is not confident language. I would be very surprised to see Mage Tower like pop back up on November 28th with Dragonflight launch, especially because from the sounds of this post, it kind of sounds like they would like to keep the difficulty in line with where it was before. And that's a lot of tuning and hotfixes that I feel like maybe are not top of their list of things to do. So if you are trying to crank out a last minute book mount before that goes away, then best of luck to you. You've only got a couple days. It will come back and those rewards will become available again, but we don't know how long it will take, which is just how it goes, I suppose. I did, on that topic, finally post my last 3 Mage Tower kills to YouTube. I did the 7 challenges back in January, and I finally got the last 3 fights up on YouTube. It was Guardian Druid, like Bear Mage Tower tank, Resto Druid healer challenge, and then I did Xylem as a survival hunter. I posted them unlisted so I didn't confuse a bunch of people with some very soon to be obsolete talent, recommendations. But if you want to see those, they are in my Mage Tower playlist. I have recordings of each of the 7 challenges I did for my book mount, so I will link that in the description too if you were looking for it. One other thing, actually, that we are getting on the 25th along with Prepatch is the first of the Dragonflight Legacies animated shorts. Blizzard is going to be putting out some animated shorts to promote Dragonflight, and they released a trailer advertising the first one to come out on October the 25th. Something Bet Nozdormu, that one will release October 25th, and there will be several more coming out after that. I'm pretty sure. I think the post said like the first one. Be weird if it was a one and done. In Live WoW this week, Hallow's End has begun, and there is not really anything new. There's still like a Sardathri's thing for Ember Court if you're doing that, but generally speaking, no new collectibles that I know of. However, it's a great time to check your collectibles to see if you're missing anything that you would like to get. If you are farming tricky treats, make sure you grab an add-on like candy notes or candy buckets to mark the inns on your map as you fly around and grab those. And best of luck to any of you who are farming your Headless Horseman mount this year. I've got a good feeling this could be your year. I feel like there must have been more to say about all that, but no, I guess it's basically just pre-patch next week. We'll see how it goes. Why am I so skeptical? Patch releases and pre-patches in particular are always a hot mess, so I think it's going to be kind of crazy for a little bit, but that's fine. I just want to level some alts. I've been reserving gnome names because I have this feeling that I was planning on like deleting a bunch of my alts and making some new ones, and I feel like I'm going to delete a bunch of alts and then make a bunch of gnomes. And then what if I have to de-gnome? What if I over-gnome? What if I need to de-gnome? No one ever needs to de-gnome, right? And then in my life this week, I actually managed to sneak out of town for a couple of days, a little day trip. It was supposed to be a 1-day trip, but then I got my first flat tire and it turned into a 2-day trip because there's really no cell service if you go far enough into the woods. It's all fixed now, I'm home. But I did a little bit of saltwater beach fishing for the first time ever. I got myself like a little 3-day title license, and I caught my first ever ocean fish. It was a surf perch, and I'm flabbergasted that I caught it because I was doing everything wrong, but he was delicious, and I did not get mugged by a bear, which is good. I was concerned about that. And then questions for this week. Nico wants to know, Hazel, how do you like one big inventory bag? Will you continue to use it after release? I use separate bags myself and wonder if one huge bag is any better or not. So if you guys missed it, in Dragonflight with the new UI, you have an option to make your bags into a mega bag with default UI. You don't need an add-on for that anymore, but you also have an option to keep separate bags. I have tried both on beta, and I have come to the conclusion that I still really hate the mega bag. I'm like this in real life too. I want to have a ton of pockets so I can put my things in their own pockets so I can find them. If I didn't put something somewhere, I will not know where it was, especially if it's in a gigantic, like, bottomless pit. So I am not a fan of the mega bag. I really tried because a lot of people seem to like it, but I will be continuing to use separate bags, especially because in Dragonflight, there's actually a couple of more of those auto category options for them. So you can have one just for your junk or whatever. I guess auto vendor takes care of that, but I don't know. It looks nice. I'll keep using separate bags. And then Josh wants to know, will you be making dungeon guides for Dragonflight? And if so, when will you release them? Yes, I will be making dungeon guides for Dragonflight, and I will release them when they're ready. Ideally before Dragonflight comes out. That's usually my deadline. I am also doing raid guides that I would like to have out before the raid comes out. And it's quite the pile of stuff this time around because there's technically 12 dungeons I could do. There's the 8 dungeons from the first Mythic Plus season, which includes some old ones. And then there's also another 4 dungeons that will be in a future Mythic Plus season, but they will be available on Mythic 0. So I would like to get in and make some dungeon videos for those as well if I can get testing of them. But like, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to prioritize the dungeons that are in the first season first. And I think I do want to, if I can, redo the Halls of Valor and the Court of Stars guides. I started making dungeon guides for the first time ever in Legion, so I have actually got those guides up already, but they're like the very first ones that I did, and they're a little bit hard to watch, and they're gonna look real weird right next to the other ones, so I'll do those ones last, but I would like to do them. And keep an eye on the channel. I will try my best to get it all up before you need them. And then Anjanette wants to know, do you know if the profession talent trees also affect what we can craft from previous expansions? So I don't 100% know. I can say that only Dragonflight professions are getting those specialization trees. And my tentative understanding is that if you get a bonus to, say, potion making in Dragonflight Alchemy, I do not think that is going to apply to your potion making from earlier expansions. I think it's only going to benefit your Dragonflight potion making. However, the updated profession journal will show for all of the old professions, so they'll get like an updated interface, and their materials will stack up to a lot, as we saw recently. But no, I don't think your specs are going to apply to the old stuff. I'm pretty sure. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. Happy pre-patch week, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Stop by a stream sometime to say hi if you like, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.